Welcome back to ASL Challenger League, round of 32, Group D. And this next map will be Overgrowth, and it's the first of this finals match right here. No, sorry. For first place match. And in the bottom left-hand corner, our green Zerg in this ZVZ representing Boreal Gaming, we have the Giant Gnome.
And his opponent up in the top right-hand corner. Playing in purple, also Zerg. And representing these, Celiumn.
Ooh, I'm excited to see this matchup right here. Both players playing very well. We did see the Giant Gnome do some crazy stuff in the games that he played, or actually do a crazy thing that kind of failed, but we'll see what's going to come out of him in ZVZ. I'd love to see some early Ling rushes, but it looks like both players will be playing pretty economically.
Yeah, pretty safe openings here from both. Actually, mirrored. Hatch first. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I'm going to take back what I said. It's not like a safest thing, but it's nicely, safely economic as much as you can get. It's not going to be 100% safe against the cheesiest thing that your opponent can pull out at you. But it's a decent build to open up a series with because it'll hold off against most cheeses, and it's, is economic enough to compete with pretty much anything else. I mean, the only more economic options or greedy options would be like Hatch and then about like a 16 gas and 16 pool or something.
Yeah, exactly. And both these players just did confirm their opponent's natural, and so they do know both of them went pool.
Yeah.
Hatch before pool, and know they're going literally the exact same build so far. And it looks like Celiumn maybe like a second ahead, but essentially the exact same build right here. So I'm going to be very curious once they varied it up. Both of them going for a metabolic boost right now, and so it looks like it'll turn out to be pretty even if they're going to go for the same attack timing, but both keeping their drones in the extractors, so we're probably going to see some baneling action here along with this metabolic link speed. What do you think?
Yeah, the banelings coming out are a nice safe defensive option. You can also use them for aggression, but you'll pretty much always see, if you're going gas, you pretty much always see that link speed in those banelings. If you're going to skip one, it's the link speed. So both players getting their baneliness down, and this is the most mirrored game I've seen for quite a while.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Watching it through, like, oh, okay. I feel like this is very much going to come down to the micro, but I don't know if they're going to be aggressive yet. Neither of them making any lings yet, so hold on for a little while for the aggression. Now, something is changing right now. Looks like Celiumn will actually be going for a baneling nest, a spine crawler, and some lings. Or sorry, the baneling nest isn't changed, but spine crawler, lings, and a layer. While Giant Gnome is going for a layer, so this is going to be very interesting. It looks like Celiumn definitely going for some, not early aggression, but mid-game aggression, while the Giant Gnome is still working on his upgrades in economy.
Yeah, two really fast lair timings coming out of these players, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out and what they go into. It looks like Mutalisks from both players, given there's no Roach Warren down, there's no Evo Chambers or anything, and again, they just want to get that gas tank up. Celiumn is going to get in. He's going to scout what his opponent's doing. He sees all the gases. He sees the lair researching, and he should have a decent idea what he's up against. And probably feels pretty happy about this because he knows he's taken all his gases already. He's actually just started mining off one of them, but his gas count is going to be that little bit higher. And those tiny edges are what really count when it comes down to Mutalisk versus Mutalisk. They really start to snowball out of control.
Definitely, it's very, very small amounts of It's very small amounts of Mutalisks that you have more than your opponent, and that really spirals out of control quite easily. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be very, very key to know which player goes for a third first, if they do go for a third, because I think that's definitely going to set back your Muta or your Ling count a lot against these two players. And it will look like Giant Gnome, or actually both players going for a third about the relatively same time. So maybe not so much. I was thinking maybe if Celiumn doesn't quite go for a third, and the Giant Gnome goes for a third, then his Spire and his attack would be a lot stronger, but looks like they'll be essentially even, like the exact same build, but Celiumn slightly faster.
Yeah, well, really the gas is the limiting factor when you get into these Mutalisks. The Lings don't matter so much. They're both going to try and do little run-bys to deny the thirds, but I think the Giant Gnome's going to have a bit more success than Celiumn is. Oh, actually, Celiumn getting a pretty decent Bane hit. Only takes out 3 drones, but gave good position with his own Speedlings, and Giant Gnome is going to try and focus down this hatch. He is going to get it, actually, and no cancel out of Celiumn. So that is quite a big deal.
Yeah, definitely. Canceling that hatch, or not even canceling it, destroying the hatch is huge, and that's going to actually, I mean, that may not spell the game, but the next few battles, that'll definitely have a lot to do with. You not only limit the Zerg's production, but or not only limit the economy, but you also limit the production. Now, we do see a couple Banelings for the Giant Gnome pulling back, but just a lot of Lings coming out for Celiumn. Oh, some almost very nice Baneling. Oh! Baneling may get another nice hit, taking out 3 Lings for that. It looks like the Giant Gnome has a little bit of a push. That push rate he can do right now. 2 more Lings, and out of that, Celiumn, 8 Mutalisks to only 3 of the Giant Gnome, but he is getting +1 attack or +1 armor for air.
Yeah, now +1 air armor. Obviously, it's the upgrade to go for when you are in these Mutalisk versus Mutalisk wars, because it takes off 1 damage from every single Mutalisk bounce, whereas +1 attack does not add 1 damage to every Mutalisk bounce. So it makes your Mutalisk versus Mutalisk a lot better. And the Giant Gnome is actually getting a big run by here. Going to be cleaning up a lot of his opponent's lanes. But hold position on those drones means that Giant Gnome's actually not going to get that much damage done here. He's trying to focus down the lair, and it's just not going to happen. So yeah, it just stabilizes out, and both players are looking in fairly similar conditions. But you know, with Mutalisk, they're just going to keep on building Mutalisk until one player overwhelms the other. Celiumn, though, he's not going for. Oh, actually, there's still some Lings in Celiumm's base. Now they get cleaned up. Yeah, Celiumn, without going for those Mutalisk upgrades, he's going to be slightly ahead in the Mutalisk count. We see that. Oh wow, he's actually behind the Mutalisk count as well. This is interesting. He's got his gases. Why is he so behind in the Mutalisk count and the upgrades?
His Spire came out earlier, but maybe that third put him behind a little bit, at least production-wise. Did not have as many larvae. But the Giant Gnome's army is engaging Celiumn, while Celiumn will have to retreat. All of his Lings dead, and the Giant Gnome will have +1 Zerg, +1 flyer attack sooner than Celiumn, so the Giant Gnome should have a nice push going on here, especially with a lot of these Lings, and essentially no Lings to defend. 14 Lings for Celiumn coming out, but the Giant Gnome right now at 16, 16 Lings right there, focusing down that hatch, and hopefully we'll be able to take it out. And the Giant Gnome also just has a very big advantage with a flying attack +1, but he will have to watch out because of this Queen. And the third is sniped.
Yeah, third base going down is a really, really big deal. And
twice.
The thing is, the Giant Gnome still is only just taking his gas on his third. So Celiumn should actually have been really quite far ahead in his Mutalisk count, and just... I mean, the Mutalisk count is pretty much everything when it comes to Mutalisk versus Mutalisk. Occasionally, like some big Ling run bys can do a bit of damage, but we do actually see a big Ling run by on that note doing some damage to Celiumm's third base, picking off quite a lot of drones. But yeah, at the minute, we just see Celiumm seems to just be kind of behind in most of the areas. Nice little bit of Mutalisk pushing there is going to take out some of the drones in the main, as well as a misread Mutalisk, but Giant Gnome's still looking in a pretty good position here.
Yeah, so Celiumn took his gases earlier, but look at how much gas he has. 850 gas in the bank right now. That is why he doesn't have as many mutas. Just if you check that, and he doesn't, it looks like there's no tech switch coming out soon for him. So I'm a little bit worried why he has that much gas. I'm guessing that third very much delayed his minerals, delayed his production, and so he really has not been able to spend that gas because he's using his larva very quite well. No extra larva laying around. And it will look like Celiumn pushing the forces of Giant Gnome back right now with his Muta Cloud, but there is a small Ling run by into the main of Celiumn from Giant Gnome with a few Lings that should get taken up relatively easily. Celiumn and Giant Gnome's Mutalisk are engaging. It looks like Giant Gnome will... No, Celiumn actually will barely come out ahead of this battle, I believe. Actually, I completely take that back. A flank by the Giant Gnome with just a few Mutalisks will spell the finish of that battle. And the third for Celiumn looks like it may actually be sniped again, but on the other hand, Celiumn going for a attack onto the third of the Giant Gnome, which has no defenses and only 6 drones at it.
Yeah, Celiumm's got a lot of Lings going in there, and Giant Gnome doesn't really have too much to defend. A few Lings of his own, but he can send his users back across the map, and he shouldn't lose the third, I don't think. Really good positioning on the Queen there as well, and Celiumn just focusing on getting the drones down is gonna mean, like, if you kill all the drones, it's pretty much the same as killing the hatchery, because you're not going to get any income from there either.
Yeah.
But
yeah, with Zerg, the
get,
hatchery actually delays the production. Sorry, just looking at...
Yeah. But still, I think the econ's a little bit more important than the production right now, just in terms of gas, because gas is so important in the Mutalisk versus Mutalisk battles. But this has been so kind of crazy. Neither player's really been able to stabilize and feel 100% comfortable. Celiumm's been controlling his Mutalisk really well, but Giant Gnome has just had more. He's been heading pretty much every way, but Celium's been holding on to this with really, really good Mutalist control, just picking off what he can when he can. But he does have to keep running away from this Mutalist block of the Giant Gnome. He's going to take an engagement here. Who has more Mutalisks? Actually, it's Celiumn right now, but he's going to retreat away. Yeah, because all his Mutalisks weren't with his army. Now they come in, though. He's going to turn back and re-engage. Looks like Giant Gnome is going to lose this, but it's going to be a pretty close thing. It's not the biggest loss ever. It's not game ending, but he will have to retreat. At the same time, though, Lings has been running via into his third base again, shutting down the mining there, killing another queen. And Celiumn has been really, really well in the multitasking game.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, Celiumn really needs to pay attention to this third and denies much income as he can. And just to note, there's actually 10 to 8 workers killed, so very, very even on workers killed at least. It's just the third has been canceled so many times for Celiumn, which isn't going too well for him. And Celiumn needs to make sure the third keeps being canceled for Giant Gnome. The Mutas actually won't catch up to that pack of Lings, and they'll go back. But it looks like Giant Gnome moving into the third once again. Only a queen to defend, and it looks like Celiumn does have a lot more Mutas. 19 are actually almost even, but the current amount in those packs are a little bit better for Celiumn. And it also looks like Zerg Fly. What? Oh, no, Zerg Flyer attack's also going down for Celiumn now, but it's already finished for the Giant Gnome. So he's at 1-1 while Celium's only at 1-0. And there is a Ling run by actually in the very main of Celiumn, but it will be picked off. And so far right now that still no drones were lost in that. And then again, the third canceled one more time.
Yeah, third keeps on getting taken out for Celiumn, and that's going to matter more and more as the game goes on. He's currently actually not mining from Gaston's main either, so he's going to fall further behind the Mutalist count. Giant Gnome starting +2 Carapace. That's going to be a big boom when it kicks in, taking out a lot of damage from these Mutalists, from Celium's Mutalists. But Celium's Mutalists are actually going to get caught a little bit, outdone by the third here, and the engagement going down. Who's going to win it? It's tough to call. There's a lot of Mutalists for both players, but it looks like Celiumn is going to have to retreat. I guess that 1-1 for the Giant Gnome is just a little bit too strong. Yeah, definitely. And on the back of all this, the Giant Gnome, having a great snowball right here, is going up for even more Zerg upgrades, and look like he's very, very, very gradually going to have more upgrades. And the third canceled once again by the Giant Gnome with these Lings. Only 5 Mutas left. Lings going into the natural, probably going to go straight to the main, pick off the Spire, pick off whatever it can. And really, it's not looking too well here for Celiumn, even though the Mutas for the Giant Gnome have pulled back. They could attack right now and take out as much as they want, because there's only 8 Mutas defending against a good pack of 19. Yeah, actually, there's very few Spore Crawlers out on the map left now for Celiumn, and he's going to be losing a lot of his Overlords as well, and that really stinks. This could be the final engagement here. The Mutalists take out everything for Celiumn, and Giant Gnome takes the first victory in the best three.
Welcome back to Vanny Research Station, Group D, Round of 32 Challenger League. And this is our next ZVZ in this best of 3 finals, or in the best of 3, playing for the first place position in Group D, in the top spawn position, playing for Boreal Gaming, the Green Zerg, the Giant Gnome.
And his opponent, right here down in the 6 o'clock position, spawning as the Blue Zerg from the Z's clan. It is Celiumn.
Well, I'm excited to really see what's going to go down in this game, especially on this map. Like we were saying, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt you're going to go for a natural. And if one player doesn't go for a natural, which it actually may look like Celiumn may do that, going for a spawning pool, actually go spawning pool and then into that hatch. So it does not look like we'll see aggression out of Celiumn either. But I feel like very much the only way to deny the natural at least would be Mutalisk. The only way to even pressure that natural. So I'm guessing we're going to see a macro game ensue very, very soon. What do you think, Mr. Trigonal?
Yeah, I think I've got to agree. There's naturals going down for both players. Giant Gnome is getting his gas, but Celiumn opting for no gas. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we saw a gasless build out of Celiumn earlier on. So, you know, I think that's what we could be seeing ongoing. Okay, no, actually, I've changed my mind. I don't think we're going to see gasless out of Celiumn.
Yeah, I don't think that either. I agree. Neither player is going gasless. Each one going for one. I assume they're going to go into Baneling Ling as they did the first game. Now, I'm very curious if either one of them may do roaches or something like that, because you can pressure the third so easy. Such a large area to be able to pressure. And yeah, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. We will see the first two Lings of Celiumn going to Giant Gnome's base. And I would just like to say, chat, definitely Trigonal will get out of Group D in Defender League. Definitely, most definitely.
I'd like to think so, but I wouldn't be so confident about that. I have not been playing for a while, or not been playing too seriously. I'll have to get my ladder back up.
We can train and dream.
We can train. Yeah, we'll train. We'll have a montage with Eye of the Tiger going on.
All right,
oh,
two
wow,
Lings killing one drone actually. So obviously we're going to see Celiumn take this win right here. Very early drone lead will lead to its victory, but we don't know so far. It looks like a Baneling next going down for the Giant Gnome. And so far for Celiumn, not doing a Baneling nest yet, and actually deciding to drone up his natural base, but the Giant Gnome looks like he will be putting on pressure. So I'm very curious to see how Celiumm's going to deal with this.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tough hold. He is starting his own Baneling nest, and it depends how the Giant Gnome goes about this. If the Giant Gnome just runs in with a bunch of speedlings, I feel like Celiumm's going to be in a bunch of trouble. If the Giant Gnome waits for his own Banelings to morph in, I think Celiumn could be okay, because he's building a bunch of Lings of his own that are going to finish up around his speed. And generally, Celiumn is doing pretty much the same thing as the Giant Gnome, but that little bit later with the extra econ behind it. And 27 drones to 18, almost a 10 drone lead for Celiumn. In fact, more than that now. His next round of drones finished up. And
29 to 30 to 18. Wow.
Yeah, and he sees all the Lings streaming across the map. Actually, he keeps on going with it though. He's gonna get these Lings caught out and could lose quite a few of them. He really needs to morph in some Banelings.
Oh, he's got to be very change the Queen may change its head of battle here though. Very nice surround by Celiumn, not allowing these Lings to get a surround, but it looks like they will. Surrounding that Queen. Actually, not going for the Queen, going for the Lings, trying to hit those Banelings. Those Banelings will go off on their own units though if they hit right there, but it could be a huge boost right there. They will be cancelled. Almost all the Banelings canceled. Lings going after the drones. Tons of 28 Lings made. Celiumn GG. Giant Gnome takes game 2 and surprising 2-0 victory against Celiumn. That was a really quick game.